this is welcome to Frankly I Don't Give a Forks channel. Today I will be going over D&D map making tips. Today I'm going to be showing you what programs I use to make my maps. I have received some good feedback about the maps that I've made and wanted to share some of the tips on how I personally create the maps used for our segment Legion D&D Let's Play campaign, which is hosted here on Frankly I Don't Give a Fork every Thursday at 7 p.m. Here on Frankly I Don't Give a Forks channel, we have a multitude of series and segments. We have a Sip of Zenaris, where you can hear the Christmas Carol written by Charles Dickens, read aloud to you by our own Zenaris, aka Daniel. And that will be a segment of 6 episodes aired every Sunday, with the exception of the last 2 episodes. The one will be on Christmas Eve, and this last final reading will be on Christmas Eve into Christmas morning. So there's that to look forward to. Join here, come here for weekly map making tips. Hopefully every Tuesday is the goal. So please write any questions that you may have, and I will do my best to address them. You can just leave them in the comment section, or you can email us at us, and I have our email here, Legion D&D Let's Play at gmail.com, and I will copy that and put that in the chat for you guys. Oh, I have to actually open up. I will put that in the chat in a moment. So refresh chat. There we go. And then our hope is to do this every Tuesday at 3:30, 4 p.m. Then on Thursdays, or as mentioned earlier, we have our Legion that we are doing, our D&D Let's Play at 7 p.m., where you can follow along with our group that is currently heading to the Shoe in the Underdark. And every Saturday you can also find the reading rendition of Mary Shelley Frankenstein's on the segment Matanzo Speaks at 2 p.m., voiced by Frankenpuss, aka Fran, aka my husband. So that's a good time for both of the story renditions. We will be posting them into segments and then piecing them together into one clip. So in uploading that, we're going to be looking if we're going to be doing that through Spotify or some kind of podcast service, so you guys can enjoy that in one piece, or you can enjoy it in multiple pieces. So we do have some other segments that are in the works, so keep an eye out for our schedule. We'll be posting updates regularly. So some of the things that we were looking into was vegan cooking, keto, Mediterranean cooking, my struggles with my personal weight loss story, and learning how to deal with lipedema. We're also looking into an idea of questions that... Alexa, silence. Sorry about that. She likes to chime in occasionally. We're also looking into the idea of any questions that you might personally have for D&D, and us trying to debate and try to figure out a way of the interpretation of the rules for D&D. So we're hoping to do that also on a weekly basis, and that would have the members of the Legion D&D Let's Play, whoever is available that night. So again, if you have any questions, whether it's regarding to map making or it is in regards to an interpretation of a rule that you might not know, we will do the research and try to figure out the best way, and we'll come up with whatever answer we can to help you. But really it comes down to the DM, of course, always, but we figured that this could be a service that could be helpful. But and now enough of me rambling, let's get on to why you're actually here. I use a multitude of map making programs, or well, I guess art programs. The bulk of what I do is in Dungeon Draft, and I'll leave a link for everything before I sign off. That way, let's see, oh, I can leave a message here now. So here is Legion D&D Let's Play at gmail.com. This is where you can send us any questions that you have. And then I will post this here, dungeondraft.net. This is where I purchased my program. It is $19.99. It is not a free program. So I do apologize about that. You can, this is personally, this is not sponsored by any means, but if Dungeon Draft, if you want to hit us up, I love your products. So just saying, love your company, love your products, hit me up. Just saying. So I pasted the link at dungeondraft.net. Feel free to check them out. They have a lot of great stuff. But you do, like I said, have to purchase it. But you actually purchase it through Humble Bundle, so there is a bit of protection there. It's not just from a standalone website. It does have buyer protection. So there is that, and they give you step-by-step instruction on how to download their program and install it. But honestly, I can say that the $19.99 that I spent, I have used it probably, not exaggerating, hundreds of times, and I have definitely used its value tenfold. Other programs that I also use are Photoshop, but if you cannot afford Photoshop or don't have access to Photoshop, Krita is a free program, and so is Photopea, which is actually a browser-based one. Those are also very good options if you don't have access to Photoshop, both of those being free. I will use those to put on lower opacity on certain tokens or on certain things that I want my character tokens to be able to walk underneath, like chandeliers, sails on a boat, or smoke, etc. But there is definitely a learning curve to Dungeon Draft. If you ever have any questions, again, please send them to legiondndletsplay@gmail.com, and I will go through the comments and try to post and answer you in real time, or in a future video. So there is that. And if you are watching this on YouTube, you can leave a comment there. I believe with Twitch, if you're in the chat, leave a question there and I'll answer it directly. But I believe you cannot leave a comment after the Twitch video has finished. So again, we monitor all lines of communication with you guys. Once you install the application, you'll be given a standard asset. There you can go and download assets for free or pay money for them, but that will get expensive fast. Or you can make your own assets and upload them directly into Dungeon Draft. If you guys are interested, I can make a video on that later on, showing how to do that. But oh, actually, now that I've got you here, let me show you where I actually cartographyassets.com is where I get all of my assets, and there are some that you do have to buy, but I usually just stick to the free ones because the amounts that there is just so much. Sorry about that. I'm jumping around. So there are a plethitude, I don't know if that's a word or not, but there are a plethora of free things that you can download. Like, this is for arcane turrets. They've got a lot of really cool things. There is one creator, let me scroll, yes, here he is. Tiger Purr, he creates, or they create, I don't know their gender, they create a lot of amazing work, and they post on here an incredible amount. Here's another one by Tiger Purr. I have a lot by them. They just make beautiful assets, and so I'm just going to, again, not sponsored by them, but I use them a lot. So all of these custom assets that I have installed, I usually gravitate towards the free ones just because of financial difficulties at this time, limited funds, you know. But you simply download them, install them. It's really simple to do so. The more assets you have, the slower the program will be to start in the beginning. But I haven't had any issues in the recent updates. They fixed a lot of the bugs. So this is still technically a beta of it. So they are always constantly updating, and they're very passionate about their company and their products that they put out. So. Oh, let me get a cup of tea. I'm drinking tea from my tea fling mug that some friends got for me. And I'm drinking 2 Leaves and a Bud, my favorite tea. So, hey, if you want to sponsor me, to tlbud.com. Yummy, not sponsored, but love to be, because I drink your tea way too much. So, Now, I guess what I will do now is let's look at this that I've got here in the screen. This is a castle for sale in France. I thought this would actually be a fun thing to recreate. So I'll get this up here and let's click on this. So here we've got some really great stuff. We got this massive conference room. I can talk, a courtyard with a well, library, great hall. They've got 4 levels, ground floor and 3rd floors. So it is a massive undertaking, but we're just going to do one quick layer level, just because I don't think it takes a while for me to do a map. With this program though, I'm able to whip out a map 1 per day, 2 per day, but I usually find myself going back to them and tweaking it ever so slightly. I tend to get carried away. So with that, let me change. So here is Dungeon Draft. First thing I want to start off with is centering the page so you can actually see it. That would help. Okay, so here when you install it, it'll take a while. I have a lot of custom assets. And let me bring that down so you can see it a little bit more. Okay, so custom assets, again, you just download and install, but oh, it's not down enough. Scroll you down some more so you can actually see. Wrong way. Okay, I'm just going to go into the map and do this. Cheating a little bit. It's okay. There we go. So now you can actually see all of the tools. Let us just go ahead and get rid of this little map background. Boom. So much easier to see now. Okay, so first thing I want to show you, when you come up, it is a little overwhelming. So first things first, menu. This right here, where is it? Open user folder. This is the most important thing for me personally, because this is where all of your autosaves go to. So if your computer crashes or your program just freezes out on you and you have to Control Alt Delete force quit, or whatever reason, your autosaves go right into here. And note, you can only have autosaves if you do your initial save. So the first thing you do when you start a new project, we want to save. So file, save as, I've already saved this as Castle Dungeon Draft Map. So this has already been saved. So if my computer were to die on me, it would autosave every 5 minutes. I have it set up to. And how you do that is under Preferences. I have maximum levels of undo to the maximum, 100, automatic backups on every 5 minutes. And then I allow the maximum number of backups is 100, the maximum. I have log errors, but I've never had to take a use of that. And this one also is very useful. Snaps at every half grid. So what that is, we go into our wall tool. We have these really nice things that, look at that. We have it at the beginning. Let me scroll in. We have it in the half to a whole. Now, let's scroll over here. Let's say, oh no, I did not want to put my wall there at all. Backspace gets rid of that. So we have our wall here. And let's say I want to do a curved wall. I hold down Shift and I click where I want it to be. Now I can actually move this to however I want it to be. And to do a perfect circle, you follow the same pattern that you did on all sides, like so. That's not a perfect circle, but it is a janky circle nonetheless. So these are walls. So right here, this folder here, assets. These are all of my assets that I have installed. And Tiger Purr. You can see I have a bunch by Tiger Purr. These are all my assets that I have. You'll see that some that are checked and are not checked. If they are not checked, those are not being used. They are, however, installed already. It's just they are disabled. So all you have to do is click it, and then down here at accept, but I'm actually not interested in having these. Again, the more assets you have, the slower it is to start up your program. So I err on the side of caution of not overloading my computer. So oh yeah, let me actually, since we're going to be recreating the castle, there is this really cool tool, a trace image. And we open our folder, and I have it saved under my downloads. Map I am making for map making tips, already saved. And whoops, wrong one. There we go. And here it is, super tiny. Let's get rid of the opacity, make it full, and we can make this as big as we want. This is a lot smaller than our current map, but that's okay. We're going to put it right here. And traditionally, oh, and to move around here, all you do is hold down your space bar and drag your mouse. You don't even have to click anything on your mouse. So this is actually a rather small area, because a token typically would be 1 square, but really, if we get rid of the grid, your token could be as big as or as small as you want. So let me get a token. I used search a token. Here we go. Here's a token we can use. I'm just going to post him here. We can make him as big. We can make him the standard 5 by 5. Like that, and he looks a little too, like this would be 5, 10, 15, 20 by 20 conference, cinema, and multimedia rooms, which is a bit big, but all we have to do is make him smaller, and you notice that he snaps to points. All we have to do is snap this, turn off snap, and we can literally have him anywhere. So he's about of a quarter size of a square. Now we have just doubled the size of this room. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So about 35 feet is this room now, which is about what I'm looking for. So we'll just place him here for reference. There's our little token guy. And now let's start building our castle. So we want to go under our construction building here. We have walls and floors that are done together. So you select them and they do them both at the same time. So if I were to, oh, helps if I select the right one. If I were to do this, it will create the walls and the floors at the same time. But you will notice that your floors are buried underneath the map. If you wanted to have your floors above the map, all you have to use is the pattern shape, and it goes above the map. So normally, I like to just work on the walls and then the flooring. So let's see, castle walls. Let's give them, now this is not a straight castle at all. It's got some weird lines, but that's okay. So I'm going to make a curved line here, hold down shift and click, and pull that to where I want it. I'm doing that over here, repeating again. And you can get really held up into the details of things, but I actually find that if you do it kind of like haphazardly, which is really a difficulty thing for me because I have OCD. My husband has really helped me out, Francisco. He is very much the opposite of OCD. Like, he likes chaos, and he's been slowly converting me, and it's been helping me. But I find it easier to take a look at the whole big picture here, and then go back and fix the things that are bothering my OCD. So creating circles. All I'm doing is pressing with the left mouse click button, holding down shift, click, and again shift and click. Like, this program makes it so easy to make maps. Like, I get a lot of compliments for my maps, and honestly, I don't always tell people that, oh, I made it in Dungeon Draft, just because I do like the compliments, and it feels like if I told them, oh, you know, I made it in Dungeon Draft and they do all the hard work for me, it feels like I lose a little bit of my artistic value. But no, this is just a tool that allows you to do some amazing stuff. But let's say I messed up that curve right there. Let's say I did. Backspace. You don't have to finish and restart the whole thing. Now, if I were to press Control Z while doing this and not having my wall placed, it actually would not undo the curve at all. It would actually undo my map, me turning the opacity down and making it to larger size, because this is not a finished segment. So for something like this, I could do a very small thing like this. I mean, I could. It could be like a small little closet or anything, but for oftentimes I will take artistic liberties and not do that. And all I did was backspace there. Let's see. This is the main entrance. Okay. So we're going to start heading back the other way then. And shift and hold and click. And heading back. This is so here we have a wall. So we want to put this in the center and come down this way, because we're building a wall. We don't want to have a large, weird shaped wall. Making this like this, and I realize this seems like a tedious task. It is a little bit. It is, absolutely. But I actually find using blueprints of real buildings makes my maps so much more realistic, because anyone could do a room, just a square room. It's very simple to do that, but really this gives it that pizzazz. What is this? They've got a weird shaped room here. Huh. Not really sure what that is. Let's zoom out. Huh. Looks like they have another, let's not do that. Let's go back. And we're just going to pretend like that doesn't exist. Like so. This is a wonky, massive map. Okay, so it's now starting getting a little chaotic here. I'm going to place my last of my stuff. What do we have here? I don't know what this is. I'm going to, so to end my wall, I place it where I want it to end, and I right click. And there is my wall. So this is a pretty good start of an outline. This is a little confusing how these, I don't know if there's a wall there or not, but we're gonna change it up a little bit. So we got our conference room here. We've got the hallway here, the office. So the office needs to be closed off. So you want to make sure that you have your sorting your layers. You want to make sure that you have it under, because otherwise it puts it right over and it looks a little wonky. So I click that, put under. Let's do this to our conference room, or our office. And see, this is kind of weird right here, so I'm going to just, boop. Let's say it doesn't line up the way I like it. I press the edit points here, and I just simply drag and correct. So this is dead space that they can't access. Well, maybe have a secret hole in the wall. Who knows, it's safe or something. Let's see, we've got this, the music room. I feel like the music room should be closed off. So let's add in a wall. I think I'm going to make it a curved wall like so. That looks pretty cool. That'll do. Let's see, we've got the kitchen over here. Let's add that wall in here. And I bet these are passageways inside. That's cool, have some weird passageways for like servants to get through. That's a cool idea. An elevator. Ooh, this is a modern castle. Well, of course it's modern, that's silly to say. Oh, see, I went too far here, so I got backspace and then I can correct it. Now, I'm not going to have an elevator in my room, so this may become like a giant pantry, a hobbit-sized pantry. And you can see I did follow the lines that they had provided, and it makes it look kind of wonky. You can go back in and edit and just simply adjust to make it look better here. I think a straighter line there would be better. And see, this is bothering me. And we just simply clean these up, and that one's bothering me. There we go, and that looks much better. This one's bothering me too. Let's fix that. There we go. There we go. So let's see, we're almost done with the walls here. Let's add a cinema, turn off edit points. Let's add a cinema wall. I'm gonna make this straight. This is where the theater is gonna be. The stage, file in, or maybe the stage, I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Okay, we've got, what is an oubliette? Am I pronouncing that right? That sounds very French. This castle is for sale in France, so who knows? If you know what it is, let me know in the comments, because I am curious. Okay, so one thing that I notice, I can add my curve here, but you will notice, and if I right click, because that's all the wall that's there, you get this really weird overlapping wall, which I'm not a fan of. All we have to do is go to edit points. Hey, go away. I want this one. Drag this one over like this. And then, let's say we want to add another point. We just click, add a point, and then we can simply make it look like a wall. Gotta finagle it a little bit. There we go. That looks good. An oubliette. What is an oubliette? Learn to pronounce a secret dungeon with access only through a trapdoor on its ceiling? That is amazing! Thank you, Frankenpuss. Okay, so let's take a look at this again. Let's see if we can figure out how we're going to make this. Okay, so they get the entrance through right here. And, oh, that's cool. Okay, so this is going to change what I'm going to do for my map. Edit points. So we're going to move that back. Oh, looks like that's where the secret entrance is right there. One of the secret entrances. So, add a point in there, that way, and then this way. We've got a living room. This is probably where the fireplace is. Got that nice little divot inwards. That looks pretty cool. And now we've got this wall here. I don't know why this wall is like this. We're going to close it off, because that otherwise it seems weird. And I'm going to leave it like that. I don't like their weirdness. We're going to make this a massive entranceway, as every castle should be. Ooh, conference room. We forgot to put a wall on. Let's see, this feels like this would be good for stairs here. Let's finish this circle off. Boom. Perfect. We got our music room, we got our offices, we've got our kitchen. Oh, we gotta finish our kitchen. And our dining room. Ooh, I'm missing a bunch of stuff. Okay, dining room here. Let's put a, I don't know what is up. Oh, it's probably entrances for the servants' quarters. So we'll put that there. And we'll close that off. Now, I want this wall to be over this wall, so I just simply click the over sign. Click, 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 and right click. Now you notice that my wall is slightly sticking out here, so all I have to do is click the edit points and adjust it. I've got a couple other minor things to do, and then we can move on to the fun part of the furniture. I always do my flooring last. Oops, see, I made a mistake here. It is actually, I should put this under, because it's now, you see, so Control Z will undo all that, put it under. that way it's under the main outside wall. Yes. Oh, let's fix that point. That looks a little wonky. There we go. And this one now. Now, we saw earlier why I set it to over. One thing, a little trick that I like to do, you see how this one is overlapping and it's looking a little weird? I'll just simply set it right to the very edge. That way it looks like it's supposed to. Now we have the kitchen and the small dining area to do. Let's fix this one up. I don't know if these are all... Oh, those are toilets right there. Oh, that's fun. I actually enjoy making toilets in my map. I make sure that we've got working plumbing in my maps. It's a fun little thing that I like to add. So let's make this all bathrooms here. It's a weird place to put your bathrooms right next to the small dining area, but sure, why not? And let's make it like that. There we go. Oh, what is this? Service quarters. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So this is all going to be the service quarters area. Fridge and freezers, because they have that in the olden days. Modern castle, modern castle. Office entrance. Tours Sudest? Frankenpuss, what is Tour Sudest? I'm calling on you because you knew what the other thing was. I have no idea. Well, let's go to Google and look it up. Tour Sudest. Tour Sudest. Mountain trails. Oh, lodging. Okay. So it could be for something. Oh, thank you, Frankenbus. I appreciate it. Oh, let's see. Let me go back to this one. While he's looking that up. Music room. I think all of our walls are in place. Don't know what this wall is for. That's a weird place. Wall. Tor Nord Outest. Oh, I think these are directionals things, I think. Okay, so now that we've got that done, most people's instinct would be to go and do the floor. But again, if we were to click the floor pattern here, let's click this one. This one's a nice one. If I were to do that, and let's go to the conference room here, let me lay down the floor. It should be relatively easy, you know. But, oh no, I lose the map underneath. I can't see where all the stuff is. So that is why I do the floor absolutely last. Well, you're having better luck than me. Again, it's also a bike race. Oh. So you can have your lodging here, and it's good for mountain biking and bike racing. Good to know. Okay, so now the fun part really starts to begin. This tab here is for objects, and here, this is where you can have your standard assets that come along with Dungeon Draft, or you can use the assets that you download, and like they've got a lot of fun, cool stuff. We got aberrations. We've got that actually doesn't. That looks like a mind flare to me. They've got all these cool things in here: administration stuff, envelopes, maps, books galore, alchemy. They've got a whole bunch of stuff. They've got a troll thumb. Lots of really cool stuff. So you can use tags to search your categories like this. And one really cool thing, if you have, it really takes a long time to scroll. All you have to do is click and hold down spacebar, and it brings you all the ways to A to Z and back to A again. So it really does help you, especially when your scroll bar is behind the grid and you can't manually move it. So you can click this and go down like this. This is fastest, but if it's behind the grid button option, you can't get to it. So you can also click the all button up here and search for your items. So let's see, conference room. Conference room would have a table. Oh, token, gotta delete that. Table. Actually, I think a map in the conference room would be really cool. Like a war room map. Let's make it massive. Yeah, that looks good. Now, oh, where's our token guy? Gotta remember. Oh no, I lost my little token. Let me get my token back. Where are you, buddy? Here he is. So, we have to remember that, oh, and to rotate him, all I'm doing is the mouse scroll bar. So, he is a quarter of the size square. Let's make you right there. So we know how big you are. So that's how big our player tokens are going to be. Let's get a massive map. Oh yeah, that's a little bit bigger. There we go. I'm going to do that. Now, one thing I like to do, let's get some knights in here. Here we go. I like to make this into a war map. I'll make these guys really small and place them so they look like they're an army. Just a fun little thing to give your players. Boop, boop, boop. And some without. And then you can change your color here. Let's get some yellow feather tops. Let's put them over here. They're heading this way. And let's add a boat on here too. Boat. That is a true. Oh, so one thing you can do, fuzzy to exact. So however close you want it to be to boat, it'll come out as exact. Or if you're not sure how to spell it, see, boar, B-O-A-R, is similar to boat, you know, so you can have it as close to or exact to as what you spell. So let's go for boat. Let's take this boat and put you over here. We're going to put you there. And let's give you a red sail. That looks good. Now let's put yellow over here. I don't even know whose ships are whose. That's that. Now we need a rake. Now I like to use things in a creative way. Like a rake seems like that would make no sense. Where is it? Snakes. Okay, I think we gotta go to, what would it be called? Pole. There we go. This could be useful for moving our tokens around. Ooh, let me go for wood. Normally, when I am scrolling through, I'll see like, oh, this would be perfect for the kitchen. So I will immediately stop what I'm doing and be like, let's bring this over to the kitchen. Just because I found the token for it, and there are a massive amount of tokens. So we've got this. We've got our food here. That doesn't look very appetizing, that food, but we'll just put you there. Oh, look at that. We've got some more appetizing food. That looks much better. Yeah, we'll just put you there. Boom. Boom. Doesn't look right. There we go. Let's see. Let's finish this conference room. Stick here in one. Okay, so let's see. We need. Let's go to all tags. Let's go to administration. Oh, let's grab that and drag you up. Administration. So let's see, we've got some papers here. Now, you notice that this paper has a shadow on it. Paper really shouldn't have that thick of a shadow, so you can turn it off right here. Put some papers here. Put maybe a scroll over here. Right there. There we go. Let's see, we've got a pamphlet here. Maybe put a pamphlet. Ooh, big pamphlet. Pamphlet there. I think that's good. Now we need some stools. So stools are under the chair category. Chair, chair, chair. C-H. Nope, we passed it. There it is, chair. Let's see, these are all their different chairs that they have. Got a bunch. Let's look for a stool. Here's a stool. Now, my stool is over the table. I have to set it to under now. And let's place it over my token, under my token. That way I know how big to make my stools. So we got stools like this. And I like to rotate. So I will use the mouse tracking to just rotate it. And let's put that one way under there. But that way it just looks a little bit more natural rather than having everything look exactly the same. Now, let's see, I'm not sure, I think these are windows here. So we go back to our building tool and we go to our portal tool. That is our windows, our doors, things like that. So let us add a window. Ooh, that's going, windows and doors are very tricky on curves because they do come up a little weird and cut off rather than on a straight wall right here. So it is a little bit more trickier to do windows. I think we're just going to leave this windowless just to make it a little bit easier. I think one other thing, let's see, a door is necessary. Let's put a door. I like to use the standard doors with the doorknobs. Ooh, see now this doesn't work here because it's a curved wall. So let's edit points. Now, I can take my time and delete these one by one, these points to, oh gosh, this takes a while. See, I could do that. Or I could go to the mouse button here and click on this section of the wall and press delete. That's what we'll do. And then let's add another, let's add a wall to this right here. So there we go. Now I can add a door here. And that is a massive door compared to this character. So what I'd like to do when that happens is a double door. Double door seems a lot better. Double door. Oh boy. Seems a lot better, so we'll use this. Now, let's say I want it facing the other way. Rotate 180 degrees on, and that will do it. So this is looking pretty good. Now I think, what else do they typically have in bookshelves? Let's add some bookshelves. So we go back to our object tools, and I'm going to just type in book. Oh, helps if I'm actually typing bookshelf. Oh, we've got some weapons in here. Oh, that'd be cool. It's a war room after all. Now, you'll notice that this is going underneath my walls. There are layers here. We're on the 100 user layer. There is above roofs, above walls. You want to be above the walls here. So I can place it here, and it actually looks like, hey, I said click. Click. There we go. And now let's say I wanted to go the opposite way. I just simply hold down A and it does a mirror object. Let's see. Let's also add, what is this? Some alchemist stuff. Oh, books. Here we go. Let's add a book cart here. This is a weird book cart. Bookshelf down 3. Let's add this one right here. This is a nice bookshelf. Problem with adding bookshelves to circles, you've got this gap here. Maybe if we did a smaller one, that'd be better. Yeah. Now see, this is rotating from 45 to 60 degrees. It's a major jump. So what I can do, instead of having it have a major jump, is click on where it says -45, and I can adjust it point by point. So I see that is a little too much. Too much now, going the opposite direction. Hey, look at that. That looks better. So let's go the opposite way. Put you all close. Almost there. There we go. We got our bookshelves. Now, all we have left to do is, oh, it looks like this is going to be a stairway here. Let's add some stairs. Stair. Let's put it to exact so we don't get lots of chairs. Ah, here we go. I don't like these stairs. Ah, here we go. Add an S to it. Okay, so I like these. I like the rounded wooden ones. This one looks really nice. I think I'll do this. Now, I want it to be under the wall. Oh, let's see. Let's put it on user layer 1. Make it a little bit smaller. There we go. It's a little tight quartered. Maybe I'll do stairs like this. Ah, massive stairs. Oh, now you see that this is no longer straight. This is no longer at 90 degrees. So I can type in and put 90 there. Now it'll rotate properly. I could do this. This works out pretty well. There we go. Now it looks like it's heading upwards. If I wanted it to head downwards, just pressing this makes it look like pressing A gives it that effect of you're going up and then down a flight of stairs rather than up and then up. So that's pretty good. Now we just need to add the floor in. So we go to our object tool for building. Let's see, we've got a ton of cool assets that I've downloaded. And one of my favorites is this beautiful wooden floor. I'm in love with it. Now, I like to use the heart here. That is to allow me to do custom shapes. You can do circles or squares, but I prefer the custom one, especially with circles. And here. Now, even though we are on layer 1, it'll always go beneath our assets. Look at that. Our map looks really good. Oh, now one thing you can see, remember when I turned off the shadows for the paper? These objects now don't have any shadows. All you have to do is click on this cursor button and click on the item, and we can turn the shadows back on. That way it makes it a little bit more realistic. Now, one thing I also like to do, you'll notice that this room is not very realistic. Okay, first off, let's add some shadow. We're going to go to this garden plant one where they have a path tool. We're going to scroll. They've got lots of great things. Like if you wanted to add depth to buildings, let me just show you here. Like make it really look like it's a tall building. Like this is like so. Like really give it some depth. I'm a huge fan of doing that. Oops, see, now I went over. I should have gone under. I'm a big fan of doing this, especially to like docks down by the ocean to give it that much more depth to it. Huge fan of that. And I'm not holding shift at all. This is part of the path tool. It will automatically curve it. You can hold shift and press click and it will allow you to do that. Now let's backspace these. That way I don't have to. Maximum amount you can backspace is 100 unless you have it set up differently. Maximum is 100. So this is just giving it some depth on the outside of the building. Boom. Like that. Some other things that they have, they've got like I used this for Trails of Blood before. That's fun. But what we want is the shadow. Now this is a small shadow. What you can do is make it larger. I make it 5. I think that'll be too big. Yeah, that's way too big. Let's make it 3.5. Now, the shadows from the walls, I like the idea of having that just casting down. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Now we have to take into account that the shadow would go up on the stairs. Now, you notice the shadow didn't go over the stairs at all, again, because it's underneath layer 1. So if we want it to be on layer 2, we can click on the cursor, click on the shadow, and move it to layer 2. Oops, I clicked the floor, not the shadow. Is this the shadow? Nope, that's the floor. This is the shadow. Nope. Shadow. Dang it. You can just click the shadow, but I cannot click the shadow. Oh wait, is that the shadow? Nope, that's the other one. Let's go to this and click on the second floor so you can see what that happens. See, now it is over. Okay, so we have that. Let's add some lights into this. It's a little, they need some natural, not natural light, they need some artificial light. Let's see, we got a bucket, we got a mirror. Let's add a candle. Oh, wait, I should have it on fuzzy. There we go. That way I'll take anything that is similar to light. Here we go. We've got this here over. This is a chandelier. Now, if I were to place this here and we export this, the character's tokens are actually going to, so let's take this token here. We're going to put them to level 4. So if we were playing like on Roll20 and my players had their tokens and they were going to move it around, they would move, whoa, too tiny. They would move over the chandelier, not under. This is where I would actually take the chandelier and move it to the white section out here, or actually I'd do it on a new map. And I would copy and paste this from Photoshop, or actually cut it out with the auto select tool, and then make sure it's a PNG with no background whatsoever. That way I can add it in later to a different layer so that they're able to walk underneath the chandelier, make sure that there's opacity on this so they can see the stuff underneath. That's where I use Photoshop or Photopea or Krita. Let me get a sip of tea. So that is what I use the Photoshop tools for mostly. I used to make all my maps in Photoshop, and I was having to do all of this work. I'd have to go find the top of a door. I'd have to go find the top of a table, which I believe the program was Genie or McGenie or something like that. There was a program that had a website that had all of these assets. Like people took pictures of, like if I needed a cup, they would literally take a picture of the cup from the top down, and then that was an asset that they would have uploaded to a website, but the company had shut down. So the website's still there with lots of assets on it. If I can try to find the link later on, I'll post it, because they do have some beautiful assets. Oops, did not mean to move that. So we have to add in the lights, right? Lights. Candles. I don't want a fire. That'd be bad for the war room. Wow, there's lots of stuff that, here we go. Perfect. A lantern. Let's put our lantern on the side. Oh, or a candle. Let's put a candle here. Candle here. And let's grab some sconces for the wall. Now, I like to make perspective-wise these a little bit bigger because they're closer to the viewer. I like to also have it sticking out so you can see the sconce on the wall rather than embedded into the wall. Let's put one over here. Right there. That looks good. Okay, so we have that. Let's turn off the map underneath. We're going to go to trace image and we're just going to turn the opacity down. Now we have to make sure that we don't click and move stuff because we will have moved the underlying map, and then it's annoying to get it lined up properly again. So turning down the opacity and then saving. We haven't saved in a while. Let's save. And then let's see, ooh, we need to do the lighting. So I like to add environment lighting into it. I would do this when the entire map is done. That looks good. Now it's a little hard to see in here. So we know that we're going to have our chandelier right in the center. So let's go to the lighting section. We can add these lights. Let's see, this is going to light up the entire thing, the chandelier. Then we're going to have, let me find a smaller light. So you cannot rotate these lights. That is the one complaint I have about the light section. I can make them smaller. Let's add small lights to the sconces. And let's add little lights to the candles. Boom. So this is what it'll look like, and I'll just see now the flames come up. Now the more lights you have, the slower it'll slow down your computer. So I like to wait to do the color environment and the lights until the very end. But luckily you can just turn it off like that. It really does give it that effect that like it brings you into it. So that'll be like that. Oh, don't want to click that. Click. Yeah. So we're not going to leave the chandelier there. There we go. So it really does make a huge difference. Now you want to be careful because it is easy to oversaturate your your map with the lighting section. Like if we were just to continue, it's just too much. Less is more. Less is definitely more. Oh, and to redo is Control Y. Control Z to undo, Control Y to redo are the hotkeys, or you can press the undo or the redo up here. Let's see. So, some other things that we haven't looked at. There is a text section here. I'm not a huge fan of using the text section here because I am a horrendous speller. There is no autocorrect in here. So if there's no autocorrect, I know I'm probably going to spell something wrong, and I'd rather do it in Roll20 or in Photoshop where I know that there's spell check. I actually prefer doing it in Roll20 more so than Photoshop because I can change it. I could have the Manners name, and then I could add where the characters left off last game. So I like it because it is in-app accessible. So that's why I like to do it in Roll20. I don't really utilize it here very much, but it's very nice if you want to add it. I don't know if you can install your own font. So they've got a bunch here, but I don't know if you can. I'm pretty sure you would be able to install like assets, just different fonts. Let's see. We've got that. We went over that. Oh, something that's fun. Scatter tool. Let's go for paper. Toilet paper. Balled up paper. Here we go. Let's say you want to make it look like it just was like completely ransacked. The scatter tool, you just hold down once and keep holding it down, and it will randomly place your objects And so let's see, I have the spread. Let's turn down the spread so it will spread out to be a lot thinner. So now there's just a ton of balled up crumpled paper. Let's turn off the shadow on the paper. And again, because of perspective, because I want to make sure the paper is smaller on the floor than it is on the desk. Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you getting smaller? Huh. I want you smaller. Don't know why it's not letting it get smaller. Oh, it got smaller then. I don't want it that small. There we go. A little bit bigger. I have a whole bunch of papers here, and they go from random sizes. That's a little much though for our conference room. I think we'll keep the balled up papers. Maybe add 1 or 2 of those. That looks good. Let's see, anything else that we want to add? I think we should add some decorations. Let's add a display case. Oh, a ukulele. Display case. Display. So we've got these lovely things here, which is part of, where is the, here they are. So I don't like the color of this. We're going to change the color to more of a natural wood color. Put that there. Now I want to click this, and I'm going to put this on the second layer and just have it hang out there for a minute. Now go back to the object section, and let's find something to put in our display case. Let's see. There is alchemy. There we go. Let's see. Let's put something fun in there. Oh, a shell. A shell could be fun. Yeah, let's put a shell in there. Let's make it pretty. Put a blue shell. That's a massive shell. Make you smaller. Put you there. And now I grab this. Oh, hey, Mr. Shell, you're supposed to be on layer 1. There we go. And now that is underneath that. And that gives the illusion. Oh, let me make this a little bit smaller. It's a little too big. I like having the top be a little bit bigger than the smaller. That way it gives the illusion of it actually being a box. I like adding 3-dimension to my maps. That's something that I really enjoy doing. So another thing that would be beneficial then is that this table should have some shadow over it. Let's add a path tool. Let's make it smaller. Add some shadow. Nope, I have it on layer 2, so it's over the table. I want it to be under the table. There we go. And I'm just clicking. I'm not holding down shift to do these curves. They're doing that automatically. And once it connects to where it starts and to where it ends, it will curve it nicely. So that gives it a nice shadow. I do like that. Let's see, what else can we do in here? I think this is about it. Let's see. Let's add in the trace image. One last thing I want to do. I want to make the courtyard very simple to do with a staircase. Let me get a staircase. I think this is, yeah, that'll be fine. Stairs. Oops, helps if I fill stairs, right? Let's put this metal, now it's outside, so I'm pretty sure they would have a metal or stone stairs rather than like that. That looks good. Or do I want it like that? I think like that. Oh. So we got that. Now I could put a well, but I want to show some water effects. So let's turn this down so we can see the ground. So let's add some terrain. We are currently, the first layer is always the current layer of the entire map. It is on the dirt. If I were to change it, it changes the entire thing. So let's put it to a nice green grass. There we go. Now we have grass all in our castle. And if I were to undo, it undid the stairs, not the grass. So make sure to be, it will change. If you go to undo something, it will undo something that you may not have been expecting. So let's add some grass. Let's go to the terrain gravel, which is automatically set up, and let's get some nice grass for in there. The terrain moss. Now, this is a massive brush. Let's just hold down. I was like, oh no, I got this where I don't want it. Let's change the brush size. And holding down Alt. Oh wait, no, that's actually the wrong key. Oh, that's right. For here, we have to actually go back to our dirt level to undo what we've done. I'll show you what I was talking about in a second. Let's get rid of the grass that we don't want. Oh, and in here I just have to bite the bullet and actually go in here because that doesn't need any grass. Though there is other ways to deal with it. So if I were to put grass in here, it does not go under, it goes underneath the flooring. It doesn't go above. So that's good to know. There we go. So there is our grass. Now let's add some water. You can choose your colors. So I like to choose a lighter color and a darker color to give it some depth. And this is you making your pond. Very simple. Oops. Oh no, I got some water over here in the castle. All you do is press down the Alt button and it undoes it. Very useful tool. That took me way too long to learn. So let's add a small one, and we're going to add a little pond. There we go. Maybe we'll round that out a little bit. That looks good. Looks very good. Now, Control Z did undo what I did here. So if I were to, oh no, that's crazy. I could undo, or I could hold down Alt and erase it. Boop. There we go. So that is our pond. Let's say I want to add some shrubbery. We've got lots of layers here, and it is showing up underneath the water. We don't want that, so it's currently below ground. So we want to set it to layer 1, and here it will be above. Now I don't want that there, so Control Z. There we go. Let's make this smaller and let's add, I like to add it as accents. I don't like it to be the main focal point. Now this will be above the layer 1, so to get rid of it we hold down Alt. And a little erases go a long way. Boop. This one. There we go. That looks good. Now you'll notice that it's rather dark in here and there's no natural lighting source. So what I'll do is I'll go to the light section and I will fill the entire area with light to just make it look like it's natural light, so that there's no one light source, like it's coming from a light source. I'll just make it look like it's coming directly from the sun. They do have different types of lights. Could do that. They've got tons of different lights, but unfortunately you can't rotate the lights, which really seems silly to me. One thing I will do, no, that doesn't look good. There we go, that looks pretty good. Makes it look the water more radiating. Now, you can change the color of the light. That looks better. Blue reflecting off the water. Gives it an eerie look here. Ooh, let's do that. That looks cool. You'll notice that your light gets cut off here. It's a really cool way so your players know where the light is coming from if they're trying to stealth their way. Very useful there. Let's add some plants now. So we can go here and add plant foliage like this, but that's about all they have for plants in this section. In the objects is where they have plants. So let's type in plants. Here is where they've got grass, leaves, and whatnot. I don't want that color. Let's make it brighter. No, I don't want that, period. Let's add some kind of foliage. Flowers. That'll look nice. Ooh, some 3-leaf clovers. What is this? Pants. Oh, plants similar to pants. I get that. Acorns. Do acorns? Acorns don't grow on bushes. They look cool. Let me type in flowers. Here we go. What is that? That is not a flower. Silly dungeon draft. Ah, here we go. Very pretty flowers. Just going to just twirl them around and place them. That way they look a little bit more. I could use the scatter tool here as well, but I am not a huge fan of the scatter tool because of its unpredictability. I think that looks really good. Let's add a bench too. I've got a bunch of benches here. Got a nice, oh, now where's my little token guy? Let's set this underneath him. That's about, yeah, that's perfect. The 2 people can sit on this bench. And we'll just put you right here. Like so. That looks nice. Ooh, or do we want a wooden bench? I think I want a wooden bench. That looks really cute. Ooh, fancy wooden bench. So many wooden benches. Ah, here's the winner. Right there. But you look too big. Yeah, you're a little big for me. Let's make you smaller. Here we go. About 2 people can fit on that now. And place that object. So, we have done 2 rooms, 1 room, and then 1 bit of outside. Let's see. I think I will save the rest of them for later in my next session. If you have any questions, please let me know if you have any. To buy a house this December, so I'm doing that. Good luck, Yossi. Super busy. No, that is totally fine. Good luck buying your house this December. Oh geez, I didn't even see Auntie Fawn jump in. Hey, how you guys doing? Sorry about that. I got kind of... This is Dungeon Draft. Let me actually post the link for you, fructose corn syrup. I actually am a huge fan of it. It costs $19.99, but I think it is completely worth it. Control Alt, Control X. See, this is what happens when I get busy and with artwork. I forget to check the messages. I apologize. Oh, thank you, Frankenpuss. I love you too. Let's see, what program is this? Good one, lol. Hi. Hey, Gazelle. This is amazing. Oh, thank you. Again, this is Dungeon Draft. So, is it for Christmas? No. Watching too many Yossies. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too, Auntie Fawn. Holidays indeed. Catching up on the comments. So, yeah, I think this is going to be it for this session of how to do Dungeon Draft. If you have any questions, let me know. You can, let me get the email that we have here. Oh, I'm also going to link to the assets if you're interested in getting the free assets, or you can get the paid ones, but I preferred the free ones. Oh, thank you so much, Gazelle, Antiphon. So let me get the email if anyone has any questions. That way they can email, and next session I will try to answer them for you. Here is our email. And this is, once we finish this map will probably be used in the Legion campaign.